last night was such a phenomenal game. Like, what a great battle, what a great crowd. But we definitely struggled. For the first time in a while, I felt like we weren't playing possession by possession, because like you said, we've had other games where we've gone down and just kept it one possession at a time, battle back, and I think we just got a little impatient. It was obviously a big game, different different things on the line. So this team, I trust that they can come back and bring it together. I think last night it was just a matter of, in that second quarter, kind of bringing them in and saying, just we need to settle down offensively. Defensively, we didn't play our best quarter of basketball in the second quarter, but I felt like offensively we were just getting impatient and rushing some things. So we just tried to settle them down and say one possession at a time and focus really on getting stops. And I think, we did a good enough job to go into halftime okay. Obviously, third quarter was a little bit of the same in terms of Moyne taking advantage. But, with a veteran team like this, I definitely knew that there was going to come that time where we just needed some momentum plays, and we got them. Kelly hit some big threes. Everybody did a little bit during that run to come back. So that's who we are. So, I know they trusted that, and we trust the process with them. So, obviously in the third quarter, we hit some big threes, and there was definitely a momentum shift. And I knew if we could just close the gap a little going into the fourth, that we'd be okay, because we had to get that battle back and get back in the game in terms of, going down by 12. But obviously we've talked about this. This is a veteran team that they understand, it's okay. There wasn't that moment of panic where there could have been, going down by 12, and Moyne is a good team. They are tough to guard. So we just tried to tweak a couple of things in that third quarter, and I think it really helped us in terms of, defensively starting to get stops that we hadn't been getting. And obviously, offensively, we were doing some better things. So that was huge going into the fourth. Like I've said all year, they are just a team that deserves to be here. They work hard every day, and this started back in the spring. They set their goals high, but they didn't just talk about it. They really put the work in. Every single kid on this team got better in the spring, over the summer, and our practices are so competitive, and that shows on game day, in terms of our ability to compete. And to have them get to the championship game, like you said, which we haven't been in a while, I'm so happy for them to get to experience that. And having it against Bentley, they wouldn't have wanted it any other way, because it's such a good rivalry. They're a great team. It's going to be a great atmosphere. So it's great to have it be in this kind of environment. But certainly, even before I was here, Paula Sullivan and Coach Stevens, they created such a great rivalry, to start with the Bentley Stonehill games. And I can remember before I was a coach here, coming down to watch a Bentley Stonehill game, because, I knew the coaches, I knew some of the players, obviously local kids, and I walked in the gym, and this was 20 years ago, and the gym was packed, and I was like, this is an amazing environment. For 20 years ago, for Division II women's basketball game, packed house, unbelievable basketball. So, they really created what has continued to be a great rivalry. I think it really is, you don't have to talk about it. I think, and across all sports, I think it has turned into, Bentley's just a great athletic program in general, and the Stonehill-Bentley rivalry, I think that's talked about year to year, so it's just passed down. And certainly our alumni understand, how fun the battles that we have with Bentley are. And, when they come back for alumni game, they talk about Bentley. They come to the Bentley games. Our alumni have been so phenomenal and supportive, and we know that there'll be a lot of them in the stands on Sunday, which is really helpful. I feel good about obviously our second meeting with them. but we know records don't matter. The season doesn't matter. How we did in the past two, it's always just going to be the same type of battle because they're so well coached, they're so well prepared, and our kids know that. And we just have to, in the next 2 days, we have to do a lot of good work in terms of, how we're going to approach defending them. What we're going to do offensively. So I feel good about our preparation, and that's, I feel like, has been a huge strength of this team as well in how serious they take scouting reports and film work, and they do extra film work. So I feel good about our ability to prepare for Sunday. Understanding their personnel a little bit better. I think in the last game we played, we had some defensive breakdowns just based on personnel, and I think our inside game, defensively, we did a very good job on their inside players. Vanessa Lux, obviously, a very talented post player. So I think we need to be ready for seeing something different offensively from them. But again, I think it's just staying true to what we've done all year in terms of our preparation defensively and our defensive schemes and understanding personnel. And then offense, I think really it's just making changes from last night. Just understanding a little bit more patience when we needed it, a little better side to side. I think we'll get better looks. So hopefully we're not putting ourselves in a hole that we have to crawl out of.